In this video, we're going to talk about inverse functions. So let's remind ourselves what an inverse function is. For any one-to-one function, f of x equals y, then a function f inverse of x is an inverse function of f if f inverse of y equals x. So it unmaps it. So it'll take it, f takes x and makes y, the inverse takes y and makes x for all x in the domain of f. It also follows that f of f inverse of x equals x for all x in the domain of f inverse if f inverse is the inverse of f. So note that f inverse is not the reciprocal of f, so that means that it's the function that undoes what f did. So let's look at our example 1 here. Given that h inverse of 6 equals 2, what are the corresponding input and output values of the original function? That means our original function h of 2 must give us 6. So if you think of it this way, this is function h, this is h inverse. Oh no, excuse me. No, don't do that. Oh, come on, erase. Press the erase button. There's the erase button. Okay, so here's our domain of the original. Here's the range. This is the domain of the inverse in the range. So this goes that way by h. This goes this way by h inverse. So h takes 2 to 6. H inverse takes 6 back to 2. Okay, how to test whether two functions are inverses of each other? F of g of x equals x or g of f equals x. They both have to work. So if both are true, then the statement, then they are inverses. If one of them is not, if one of them doesn't make x, then they're not inverses. Are the following functions inverses of each other? So we have f of x equals x cubed minus 4, and g of x is the cube root of x plus 4. So our f of g of x is going to be f of the cube root of x plus 4, which will be the cube root of x plus 4, and we're going to cube that and then subtract 4. Well, if I cube a cube root, I just get the x plus 4 out of there, minus 4 equals x. That works. Now let's look at g of f of x. That's going to be g of x cubed minus 4. That's what's going to go inside the x there. So we have the cube root of x cubed minus 4 plus 4. So the 4 subtract out, we have the cube root of x cubed, which is just x. So that works as well. So f and g are inverses of each other. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at example 3. We have f of x equals the cube root of x plus 4, and g of x is the quantity x minus 4 cubed, or is it g of x going to be x cubed minus 4? So let's see what we can try. So if I did f of the first one, x minus 4 cubed, so I'm doing this first one here, then it's going to be the cube root of x minus 4 cubed plus 4. So the cube root and the cube cancel, so we have x minus 4 plus 4. So we get 0, get x, excuse me, not 0. And that works. If we look at g of f of x, using that same g, I'm going to get g of the cube root of x plus 4. So, no, I just did that. Well, that's right. Jeez. Messing myself up here, thinking too many things at one time. So this is going to go in place of this x here. So it's going to be the cube root of x plus 4 minus 4 cubed. So these 4's subtract out. Then we have the cube root of x cubed, which is x. So that works. So this is the inverse. The other one's not. If we tried that, f of x cubed minus 4, then we'd have the cube root of x cubed minus 4, and then this plus 4 outside. And this we can't simplify. So that's not going to be an inverse. Okay, and we'll stop with that for this. Next one we're going to make is the domain and range of inverse functions.